Snow leopard versus cougar. Who would win? They tell dog owners not to get in the middle of two fighting dogs, but know what's worse? Two fighting wild cats. If we're looking at big cats of the world, they're some of the biggest, scariest, and most vicious animals out there. But let's push aside the most commonly thought of big cats: tigers, lions, and jaguars. We know your exploits, guys. We're more interested in the lesser discussed big cats. We're talking about snow leopards and cougars, and we're curious what would happen if these two big cats had a showdown. Who is coming out victorious? Big cats. We're not talking about the biggest of the big cats or who's the real king of the jungle. It's enough already with tigers and lions, isn't it? We get it. They're big and strong, but they shouldn't be overshadowing the other big cats. They're the heavyweights, but let's not pretend like the middleweights and welterweights aren't still terrifying, like they aren't bigger and more vicious than a pit bull down the street. First off, let's get things straight. There are over 40 different species of wild cats, but only 7 get to call themselves big cats. Only 7 felines walk this earth with that distinct title. You know tigers and you know lions. There's also jaguars of South America, leopards who can be found all over the place, and the fastest land animal in the world, the cheetahs. That's 5 of the 7, and perhaps who are the other cats who are dominating headlines? The other 2 are our competitors today, and they should be getting far more love than they are. Maybe love isn't the right word, because they'll tear your eyes right out. Yes, no one wants to referee this fight because you wouldn't be guaranteed to get out with your life. The last 2 big cats are the snow leopard and the cougar, and they'll be fighting in this battle that has no referee. We couldn't find anyone to sign up, but the fight is still going to happen. Snow leopards. Commonly confused as a leopard that just so happens to look like the snow, our first warrior in this fight is the snow leopard. Nope, not a type of leopard, an entirely different big cat altogether. Of course, all big cats and cats in general are found in the same family and are related to one another, some more closely than others. The snow leopard, believe it or not, is more closely related to the tiger than he is to the leopard. Perhaps the name is poor, making us think otherwise, but regardless of what you call him, he is vicious. The snow leopard is quite opposite the cheetah if you want to play the opposites game. Cheetahs live in sweltering heat and they're lean, built for incredible speed. The snow leopard is quite the stocky feline, and clearly we know he lives in the cold. Sure, they aren't fast like a cheetah, but they can still hit speeds of up to 40 miles per hour in short bursts if they need to. When hunting their prey, they like to use their stealth, blending in with the terrain around them, especially uneven rocky ledges. When it's time to pounce, they use their long and muscular hind legs to propel themselves, able to leap 6 times their own body length. Snow leopards are usually about 5 feet long, so all you math majors out there just calculated. Holy cats, that thing can jump 30 feet. Not so good for any enemies trying to sneak up on a snow leopard. They're extremely alert and aware individuals, and if someone is trying to get the upper paw on him, you better be close. He has got long-range leaping ability. Sure, they're not humongous like lions and tigers, but the males usually weigh between 100 and 120 pounds, sometimes even pushing 160. They stand about 2 feet tall at the shoulder, compact, sturdy, muscular guys. And if you're ever so unfortunate as to be bitten by one, you will feel the wrath of 500 pounds per square inch of force. That means the force for every square inch of that snow leopard's mouth equates to 4 to 5 times the snow leopard's actual weight. Snow leopards hunt alone or in pairs. They tend to use their momentum as they leap and run down steep mountainsides, barreling towards their prey, which may be sheep, goats, deer, or plenty of other animals. They tend to go for animals between 150 and 200 pounds, but can even take down animals that are 3 times their size. Snow leopards are true warriors, not just with their ferocity when they attack, but also the fact that they live through brutal elements. You can find them through Central and Southern Asia in countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, India, Nepal, and Mongolia, but they are found in high-altitude regions that are so cold and, well, obviously snowy. Snow leopards live in alpine and subalpine zones, found at elevations typically between 9,800 to 14,800 feet. They are masters of the altitude and of the cold. They thrive in harsh conditions. The world has its brutal habitats that try to chew up and spit out the weak, but the snow leopard is far from weak. He's pressed on and become an apex predator in his region because there are no other predators that can last in these regions. Forget king of the jungle, he's king of the mountain. He is battle-tested, but is he ready for the upcoming battle? Does the cougar wish to steal the crown of king of the mountain? Cougars. Far away from Central Asia, found throughout much of the Americas, is the cougar. Although the cougar is far in distance, he isn't so far off from style of living. He lives a very similar lifestyle. The snow leopard's name confuses us and makes us think he's a type of leopard. When it comes to names and the cougar, we get confused here too. Because the cougar goes by so many names: pumas, catamounts, mountain lions. It's all the same animal, the cougar. But that name, mountain lion, it's really not such a bad name, because this feline loves the mountains as well. You can find cougars as far north as Canada, ranging down through the US in places like Wyoming, Colorado, and California, down through Mexico and most of Central America, and all over the South American continent. It's the most extensive range of any land animal in the Americas, ranging 110 degrees of latitude. To say this is a versatile kitty is a gross understatement. They can live in habitats like lowlands and forests, and even high up in the mountains, sometimes as high as 19,000 feet. Cougars are clearly extremely adaptable, one of their many strengths. Another one of their strengths, their literal strength. Overall, they are more on the slender side when looking at the big cats, but they are still large. They're about 3 feet tall at the shoulder, somewhere between 5.5 and 7 feet long, even sometimes reaching 8 feet in length. And 160 pounds is average for them, pushing 200 pounds at times. Cougars have powerful forearms, which they use to clutch their prey when attacking. The cougar can hit speeds of 40 to 50 miles per hour and is another big cat that likes to use stealth before ambushing their prey. They use the rocky terrain that they often find themselves on in the mountains to their advantage, using amazing agility to navigate it expertly, leaping along ledges, and even able to jump 15 feet straight up onto ledges above. If a cougar has you in his sights and wants to attack, you really aren't going to be able to get away from it. And many hikers in the Americas have suffered this awful fate, coming across these predators that will stalk them for thousands and thousands of feet. They say the best thing to do is to back away, make yourself look large and intimidating, and make a lot of loud noises. It's really your only shot, and it might not even work. But because cougars are not always the apex predator in their regions, they have a healthy respect for an animal larger than them. They may share their terrain with bears or jaguars, so they understand that they have plenty of competition. Though the cougar's bite force may pale in comparison to the other predators he shares his domain with. His is one of the strongest among the big cats, 750 psi. That's a whole lot of hurt. Even stronger than a lion's bite. Perhaps it's the high elevation that makes the mountain lion's bite harder than the bite of the lion. But the cougar isn't going to be facing off against a lion. The snow leopard is his nemesis here. It's the battle of the cats on high, the cats of the mountains. They're vying for the title of King of the Mountain. King of the Mountain. It's finally time for the fight. Both these cats are extremely comfortable on the mountain, whether there's snow falling or not. They'll both be able to traverse the rocky terrain as they locate one another, but this isn't going to be one of those fights that starts only once the competitors are face to face. With long-range jumping ability and incredible speed and agility, these animals will be leaping for one another once they can make out the whites of each other's eyes. Our cougar has a slight advantage when it comes to speed and agility, so he may be unleashing his attack first, but don't count out the snow leopard. His stockier body can deliver heavy blows to the more slender cougar. But as the two attack with large paws featuring sharp claws, we'll notice the cougar's especially strong front legs and the fact that he is slightly larger. Then again, his length and weight is more spread out. If the fight calls for more darting and jumping back and forth, if it's a battle of agility, the cougar gets his edge back. And though he's bigger and weighs more than the snow leopard may be able to control the fight if it's in close quarters. His stocky build and muscular body may see him calling the shots if they stay close to one another, like a stocky boxer with a mean right hook. Both cats can deliver devastating bites, one after another, and no one will like getting teeth jammed into their flesh. It's going to hurt no matter what. But that cougar bite force is stronger, and it's going to hurt so much more. As the battle wages on, the cougar just has so many more advantages, even if they are just slight. He's the fourth largest big cat on average, making him bigger than the snow leopard, the smallest of all 7 big cats. The cougar is a little speedier and a little more agile, His jaws are quite a bit stronger. He's adaptable, used to all sorts of climates, no stranger to high altitudes. Snow leopards almost exclusively live in high altitudes and cold climates, which does bring up a possible advantage for the snow leopard. If the terrain was snowier, more suitable for the snow leopard, he might get the upper hand from the start. If he could blend in with his surroundings and remain unseen using his stealth and then pouncing on the cougar immediately, that could work. If either competitor got an immediate strike in to start the fight, the scales could tip in his favor. So let's not forget our snow leopard can leap 30 feet. If he decides to swing first and swing hard with an enormous leap like that, tackling the cougar and laying some serious hits on him, that would work in his favor. It's a somewhat fair fight as the two are so similar, but it just looks like the cougar is a little bit better equipped to win this fight. If it went the distance, we'd bet on the cougar, but the snow leopard could gain a serious advantage if he decided to deal a big blow right away. It might be his best shot. The good thing for both of our warriors is that they can both keep the title of King of the Mountain. The cougar can claim that in the Western Hemisphere, and the snow leopard can claim it in the Eastern Hemisphere.